Okay, guys, a couple of really important things before your first test. So I'm not going to explain in depth like this for every test, just for your first one. So on Friday, September 26th, you have test one. I will have an announcement on that day reminding you that you have your test. Hopefully you are well aware that you have a test that day. In the announcement, I will link it, but also if you go to content, your test will be linked. I'm viewing as a student, so I'm going to have some restrictions on mine because I haven't completed all my exit tickets, but I didn't put any restrictions on unit tests. Anyone can go here and read through this information. So your test is scheduled for Friday, September 26th. Your test is due on that day. However, the test will remain open for an additional 24 hours, meaning the submission folders will close on Saturday, September 27th at midnight. I'm not guaranteeing that you will have this additional 24 hours for all tests, but for the first one, just to make sure we have all the kinks worked out, we have a buffer 24 hours. You do not have 2 days to write your test. You have 2 hours to write your test. So just because it's open on the Friday and the Saturday does not mean you get to take 2 days to write your test. So from the time that you access the questions, and I will show you how to do that, so from the minute you open the questions, you have exactly 2 hours to have all of your work submitted to the submission folder. Okay? So it will remain open over those 2 days just for the first test. You have 2 hours to complete it. If you were writing this test in person, you would have 75 minutes. I have in-person students writing these same or similar difficulty tests in 75 minutes. That's 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I have given you an extra 45 minutes to sort out yourselves and get your work scanned and uploaded to the folder and your audio files recorded. Okay? You may not stop the test once you begin and then go and resume it at a later time. Once you start, you don't stop until you're done. Be sure that you have scheduled yourself a full 2 hours, and you might not need 2 hours because, again, you might only need 75 minutes to write the test and then the 10 minutes that it takes to scan and upload. But give yourself enough time, again, especially for this first test, okay? Just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. Our office phone was ringing. Okay, so on test day, you will click here to access the questions and instructions. Now, this is going to take you to a quiz. And the reason is because the quizzes are timed. So when you open a quiz and you submit a quiz, I can see exactly the time you opened it. I can see exactly the time you closed it. I can see exactly how much time you spent on it. The assignment folders are just a Dropbox. There is no way for me to keep a timestamp. So you will access your quiz questions, or your test questions, by clicking that link, or you will find them under your quiz tab at the top. So this is all the same stuff that I just went through, and really, really important. So because it's a quiz, they are entered as short answer questions. You could just, in the space provided, type done as you complete each question. It's not necessary because the results on this quiz are not for marks, because this is not where you're submitting the work for your tests. You will submit, this should say test, you will submit your test, you will click submit on this quiz once you've completed all the questions, okay? So make sure you submit the quiz that you have opened. If you do not, then your time will not stop. And it will appear to me like you spent 5 hours on your test. And if you go over the designated time, you may be docked marks or issued a mark of 0. So make sure after you've gone through each and every question, you click submit as soon as you're done writing. Okay? When you do that, you have written all your work on paper. You scan them as a PDF, as a single file, and then you will go to the Unit 1 Test Assignment Submission folder. Now, this is not going to work for me, because there is a release condition on this folder. If you have not clicked submit on this quiz, you cannot access this folder. You have to click submit, then your folder will open up. You will go here, and it's also linked here, and it's going to tell me the same thing because I haven't submitted it. So you will go here, and that's where you will upload your PDF, and that's where you will do your recording right in the assignment submission for your assigned questions. So if your last name begins with A, B, E, or H, you are submitting an audio explanation for questions 1 and 4, and so on and so forth. You guys can read. We have a lot of people with last name C and a lot of people with last name M. Okay? So all of you have to submit an audio file. If you have 2 questions to submit an audio explanation for, I need 2 audio recordings. So in assignments, and we all practice this on orientation week. I have no assignments because I'm viewing as a student. But just know when you do go into those assignments, you will submit your audio explanations right there, record audio, and you record as many audios as questions you have assigned. Okay? So hopefully this is helpful. Please take the time to make sure you know what you're doing, schedule yourself enough time, find yourself a quiet place, make sure you have access to the technology that you need, and good luck on your first test.